This trip was really a very special time for my family, especially my husband's family. He had lost his brother and sister-in-law within 2 years, and this was a wedding for one of the grandnephews, and he just simply did not want to miss this wedding. And so it was important to me to be well enough to travel. I would say 3 weeks maybe prior to it, I was having a lot of indigestion, taking Tums and feeling discomfort. And then on a Monday, I went with my granddaughter and my daughter to the zoo with her first grade class. And while we were walking around after lunch, I felt this pressure again. I was pulling a cart with the kids' lunch bags in it, and it wasn't heavy because we had already had lunch, but it just seemed like it was heavy to me, you know, as I was walking along. When I came home, I told my husband about it. He said, "I want you to go to the doctor tomorrow."
Yeah, really, Chris is a very typical presentation for angina, for heart disease. We got her and saw her. We did a stress test, which did help us localize which artery was likely to be blocked and causing the problems, and then did a catheterization shortly thereafter and fixed her blockage. We're doing the transradial approach, that is the procedure through the wrist, much more often in the United States as time goes on. Patients, if having gone through the procedure both ways, they definitely prefer going through the wrist and going through the leg. Better patient comfort. Patients when we go through the wrist, they can get up right away, and they're not confined to laying in bed straight for several hours.
I was hoping that this transradial procedure would be quicker because we had this big trip planned and I was going to go. And the doctor asked me, you know, "Do you want to wait a week?" And I said, "No, I'm going on this trip, I've paid for it." And he said, "Well, let's see what I can do." And he came back 5 minutes later and he said, "Good, we can do it at Adventist Hospital in Tacoma Park tomorrow." And I said, "I'm going." And off I went.
I did a coronary angiogram on Chris. Coronary angiogram is where I put a catheter in the blood vessel, and I went through her wrist in this case, and the catheter goes up to her heart. And through that I then inject some contrast, and the contrast lights up the blood vessels, and we look for any blockages. And then with blockages, we did see one severe blockage in one of her vessels. So then I did a coronary intervention, put in a stent in one of her vessels of her heart to open up the blockage.
After the procedure, I felt wonderful. I felt kind of renewed. It's amazing how quickly you feel good afterwards. I would definitely recommend Adventist Hospital for cardiac care. They were magnificent. From the moment I walked into the hospital, the people in receiving were so accommodating. And when I went down to where the procedure was going to be done, everyone there was very welcoming. I felt very comfortable from the minute I walked in that front door until the minute I left. I felt everyone was there for me. I felt like they were helping me, and that was very important.
Chris is doing fantastic. I saw her a couple weeks ago, and she's not having any chest discomfort. She's been active, enjoying her grandkids, and it's really gratifying to see such recovery. And we've gotten to know each other much better too, and she is very active professionally as well, as a kitchen designer. So I think I'll have to try and keep my wife and Chris apart from each other.